Good morning, class. Let's talk about travel today. Let's take a look first at the globe that I have right here. And we're going to start by identifying some English speaking countries that we would like to visit to practice our English and get to know other English speaking cultures. Let's start over here. What do we have right over here by Europe? It's England, right? So that's in the United Kingdom. Let's see what else we have. How about this country right here? Yeah, that's the United States. That's where I'm from, and that's why I have an American accent. How about all the way down here in the middle of the Pacific? What do we have? Right, this is Australia. Has anyone ever been to Australia? I haven't because it is very, very far away, but I would like to go one day. Can anyone else think of an English-speaking country that we haven't mentioned? Okay, good. Canada. They also speak English in Canada. There are many English-speaking countries with amazing, rich cultures, different accents. Can anybody tell me why it might be a good idea to visit an English-speaking country? Okay, how about you? Yeah, it's a good way to practice conversation with the locals, right? You can learn some vocabulary. It just gives you this immersive experience. So we're going to go on kind of a virtual trip to an English-speaking country, and you'll get to choose which country you want to go to. So we're going to use PowerPoint to make a presentation about a city that we are going to visit and then show the class, okay? So I'm going to show you an example of a PowerPoint presentation that I made about a city in an English-speaking country. And then after that, I'll give you guys time to practice. I'll show you how to use Microsoft PowerPoint. And then later on in the week, you guys are going to present your presentations about your city to the class, okay? So it's going to be important that we include the list of travel vocabulary that we've been learning in the presentation, and also pictures to demonstrate what we're talking about, and so the class gets a nice visual that will help with our learning. So let me give you an example. So I'm going to start out with my presentation here, and this is going to be about the city of San Francisco. Okay, San Francisco, does anybody know what state that's in? Right, it's in California. I actually used to live there for a little while. So as you can see on my presentation, I have the introduction, maybe a little bit about the city. It says the city by the bay. And I have a nice picture so that people can kind of immediately recognize something about this city. And in your presentation, I want you to include some phrases that use the vocabulary words that we've been talking about, and some special things about this city, what you did on your virtual trip, things that you would do if you went to visit the city, famous museums, things to see, things like that. So here I've included another picture of the city. I've got some examples like San Francisco has a busy downtown. We rode the famous streetcar trolleys, things like that. And I have the title, My Trip to San Francisco. So your presentation is going to be made up of slides like this that will illustrate your trip visually to the other students in the class. And through making this presentation, you will learn about these cities that you could visit in the future. You can mention things about the culture, the cuisine, the architecture, anything that sparks your interest. So I'm going to show you a little bit how you can make one of these slides. So for example, here's a blank title slide. So here you can add a picture And remember that we went over how to find and save pictures from the internet. So let's pick a photo that we want to use. This is that photo of the Golden Gate Bridge that I had in my title slide. And then we can type here things about the city, okay? And then I want you to make at least 5 slides in your PowerPoint presentation and use all of the vocabulary words that we've gone over so far, okay? So I'm gonna let everybody have their time to work on their own computers here in the computer lab. And I'm gonna come around and help you guys get started choosing a city and making sure you know how to use Microsoft PowerPoint, okay? And then, like I said, later on in the week, you'll give your presentation, and that will be for a grade, okay? But we'll be able to check over it before you actually give it. Does anybody have any questions before we get started? All right, let's get to making those presentations.